What is up, Kelly? How are we feeling this morning? Looks like you woke up and chose violence. Is what is up? Are we good? Do I need to go check your co-star? Am I going to get?
You should go check my co-star. Listen, I wake up and choose violence quite often. I have to remember to reel myself in. I do feel bad though. I was just texting another coworker of ours who I will keep anonymous. Also, because he told me he was a Duke fan as well. I'm like, wait, what? I go, I'm totally bringing this up on Money Shots. He's like, I just don't tell everybody because I just don't want to deal with it from everyone. Well, that's the only reason why I'm giving Marty shit. I have nothing else to talk about. Literally. I got smoked with my buddies when we were in Vegas with Michigan State. They were up 5 with 5 minutes left. I had Texas Tech. They were up what? They were up at half regardless, and they didn't make any second half adjustments. Coach K kicked my ass in the second half. And then I had Houston, who shot a literal 5% from three-point land. What else do you want me to do? I'm a little disgruntled right now. And I just thought Marty's tweet was funny because I always like to give people shit when they say we. And I'm like, oh, you play for the team, or, oh, did you go to school there? I get it. These blue blood programs have a ton of fans. It's like all the Irish kids I grew up with in Kansas. They're all Notre Dame fans. Let me guess, how many of them went to Notre Dame? Probably zero. So it's just been a funny day. I got people telling me they hope I get fired. I'm like, bro, you got to really get out there more if that's going to make your life. So yeah, it's been fun today so far.
Did you tell him already been there, done that?
I didn't, and that would have probably been funnier.
Okay, well, we won't stay in the mud that long. I just wanted to make sure that I was safe. That we were on a good track this morning.
Oh no, you're in trouble. You're already guilty by association here, so I guarantee you're also on the shit list. Sorry in advance.
Oh man,
I like to talk a lot of shit. What do you want me to do?
No, I'm hands up. I'm not me. I'm not me. I'm sitting here just hoping that I can try to figure out what side I want to take with either of these games because I still haven't figured it out. And I need your help talking through this one because I know that you've paid a lot of attention just because you hate them to this Kansas team. I also know that Villanova will have Justin Moore out with an ACL injury. But I will say I saw an interesting replacement this morning. His replacement is, Caleb Daniels. And you know where Caleb Daniels is from? New Orleans.
Oh.
So I will say I don't know whether that is an extra motivational factor or if that will add more pressure with family being there, Final Four. Because, just like how Super Bowl, if was in LA this year, you had Matt Stafford probably having to worry about getting 1,000 extra tickets because that's where his family and friends are, etc. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Okay. But I don't know. This Kansas team, they had a humongous win over Miami. They've been an offensive juggernaut. They're good on both sides of the ball. They're going to get a ton of second chance opportunities. My heart obviously leans Nova here, plus the 4.5. I haven't taken a side yet. I'm really hoping I get to see Nova at maybe 5, maybe even 5.5 with this injury. Because obviously Gillespie can't do it all, right? They're going to need to make 3 points, their 3-point shots, and they haven't been doing that well throughout the tournament. And Kansas is going to guard that 3-point ball extremely well. So I'm really torn here, especially, you got Kansas as the final 1 seed. Help me talk me through this. I really, again, you know how much I love Jay Wright, chef's kiss. But
I do know how much you love
to
Jay.
Win some money. I would like to win some money. So help me out.
I would like to win some money too, but this has not been my college basketball season. You mentioned the injury to Justin Moore, so I'd just like to address that first. He's worth about 3 points to the betting line. So this injury was already built in, if you guys remember, on Saturday when I tweeted out the lines from the Barstool Sportsbook, and everybody's like, what about St. Peter's? Yeah, well, what about it? And this was the line when it came out. This is the line now, and that's because this was already built in. And a lot of guys chirping at me, telling me, hey, Moore's worth more than that. He's just not. We've got to see Gillespie, as you mentioned. He can't do it himself. So who's going to step up? And I think it's going to be Jermaine Samuels. He's going to have to be able to absolutely take over that offensive spot. I'm not sure he can stay hot enough to do that. On the flip side, you mentioned KU, and they looked like crap in the first half versus Miami. Came out at halftime, all of a sudden made a ton of adjustments and just blew out Miami. I don't love the side here. I think the line is about where it needs to be. I lean towards the Wildcats plus the points, just in an overreaction to them losing one of their best players. We all know that I have those situational bets from time to time, and that would be one of them. But we're going to need a pretty much almost perfect game from Villanova. They're going to have to make their free throws. And as you mentioned, KU is great at defending the three ball. So that concerns me. I'll be honest with you, Megan. I'm probably going to be just so boring. And these unders that just keep cashing, just been cashing 11 in a row. I think we see another under here. I think this is going to be like a hard-fought game, both sides. And it's going to suck, and everybody's going to hate me, and they're going to go, of course you want to bet the unders here. But I think that's where I'm going to be looking at in terms of KU Nova.
I want to go ahead and adjust Kylar Showers. If that's how you say your name, Kylar? I wasn't comparing their abilities. I was just comparing the situational with him being from New Orleans and his family being there, and the Super Bowl being in LA and Matt Stafford living there. That's literally the only. It's like whenever I made the joke about Chris Rock and The Rock, people were like, how did you get those two? They're two rocks. That's about it. That's
about the only comparison they have.
Doesn't really take a lot of brain power to try to connect those two. So just in case, Kylar, I am not comparing Matt Stafford and. Are
you purposely not calling him Kyler? Because if so, it's like when you call Brandon Brennan, and it kills me every time. I feel like you're doing this on purpose. I hope you're not. I hope his name really is Kalar.
Just like seen the other day. I don't like the way it's spelled, so I'll say it whatever way I see it.
However phonetically it appears on the screen is how we're going to pronounce things.
I said I pronounce everything phonetically. If anyone doesn't know, I'm dyslexic. I'm awful at spelling and grammar, so I do spell everything phonetically. And if your name, it looks like it says Kylar, that's going to be your name.
Real quick, Megan, I want to add one more note because we talked about it on Monday, but I just want to reiterate. Remember, guys, KU has been one of the best second half teams in the country. I mean, since middle of January. So look for those second half numbers to be a little skewed because KU is going to come out hot. I think if you do like Nova on the side, I think first half is probably the play, and I think I just talked myself into that one.
I haven't. Do you think we'll see a 5 here with that injury out? Do you think that the public is going to go? Because I saw like Ange tweet that,
I saw it too. And I don't have the splits from Barstool specifically. I have my odds screen open right now. It looks like about a little over 70% of the tickets are on KU. And look, we all know who comes in late, and that is the public. But I think if anything, if we see a 5 blip on my screen, I think the sharp guys are going to take it. I just think right now we're sitting on the fringe of too many points, and at 5, I think we'll be there.
I'm holding. I know. I don't.
Yeah, if you like Nova, I don't see a reason to rush the window, Megan.
Yeah, no, I know that I don't. As I said, I don't know that I'll keep this 4.5, but I don't see it going to 4. If anything, I see it going to 5, and I'll wait on that. And if not, then I'll take the 4.5. But I do lean the Wildcats plus a 4.5. But I also could see them just coming out and having a flat game, not being able to get anything going from the perimeter. KU just shutting them down, getting the second opportunities. I don't know. Again, I lean Nova. I have not had the balls to play this game yet, but I will at some point because you know why? It's my job. Okay, up next. The game that you said that you're not very excited for because you've seen him play multiple times a year, but I'm freaking excited for it because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I was talking to Stu the other day, and he was like, well, he had a 10-0 day the other day. Congratulations, Mr. Feiner. I was like, what side are you thinking? He's like, well, I was thinking UNC, but, they're just a better team overall. Do you see what they did to Duke? And I didn't remind them that Duke also did the same thing to them earlier in this season. But, Stu tends to forget things sometimes and blurs the lines, which is why I love him. But I don't know what to make of this game because I will say that UNC has a magic number of 44%. If they hold teams to 44% from shooting, they're 18-0. And though Duke has only been held to 44% 6 times this year. So I don't know what to do. Is UNC going to be able to go out and defend this Duke team that literally has Coach K's final year riding on their backs? I, like someone else said in the comments, like, don't talk me into UNC because I'm done losing my money fading Duke. I am also done with that, but I'm still leaning towards UNC. Please try to talk me into some sense if I need to. If not, tell me I'm right and then I'm beautiful.
Megan, I've had so many losses this year that I forgot. No, it wasn't Duke and Houston, even though Houston did completely screw me over from three-point land. It was Arkansas, who was completely unmatched. They looked like JV versus varsity out there. And I think that that's what we're seeing here with this line. I think it's a smidge too high. Of course, you're going to pay a premium for Coach K. Of course, you're going to pay a premium for Duke. I would love to make a case for North Carolina being the better defense plus the points, but they have had issues this year of turning the ball over, and that concerns me a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to take the under, and it's going to get bet up all week long, just per usual. And this is a Duke team that you mentioned the key number for the Tar Heels was 44. Duke's key number is 78, and they have just been crushing. 9 of their last 10 games, they've scored at least 78 points. Offensively, they look very well-rounded. As I mentioned, Arkansas looked so unmatched. Texas Tech in the second half just looked lost, right? Like, this was a Texas Tech team that came out dunking on the Blue Devils. Like 3, 4 in a row, fast break, fast break, fast break.
And I was feeling great about that game. I was loving it
half. Right out of the gate, right? Really enjoyed it until the last 5 minutes, and I knew it was over. Because Duke was hitting all of their shots because that's what they do. They're one of the best effective field goal shooting teams in the country. They don't turn the ball over as much as they were during the regular season, particularly that Virginia Tech game comes to mind. Since then, they've made some really, really great adjustments. You mentioned both times they played. I take those as a wash. We're going to see how far this tempo goes. And that may be what keeps me off the under because North Carolina does exactly what Texas Tech does, and that's those fast breaks. I think if I end up on North Carolina, I'm going to take them in the first half, but I do lean under for the game.
All right, so you lean both unders. You're leaning Nova and the points. You're leaning UNC, but that's not necessarily any real plays. I'm also leaning both dogs, but I have not gotten to the window. I'm terrified. I'm terrified to fade this Duke team again because
you think I'm not? It is
Marty definitely could be right. This could be the Duke team of destiny. And if there's going to be a year where there needs to be a Duke team of destiny, this is the year. I mean,
here's a serious question. And I said this morning on another show that I do, and the guys kind of looked at me and I'm like, do you kind of wonder, and this is why I said that all 4 of these blue bloods, whether you think Nova is or not, they're a pretty damn good team and have been since the 80s off and on. So maybe just because they weren't around in the 40s doesn't mean that they're not still a great basketball program. But my concern is do you think certain teams get whistles? Because KU gets a ton of whistles. Now, when you put them on a neutral court, things kind of change for them. When you talk about a team of destiny, do you think that also maybe there's a little bias there from the refereeing side of things?
Well, now that you mention it, I feel like your referees obviously need to be unbiased, but in a situation like this where there is a school that has been dominant forever and there is a coach that has been dominant and he should go out on top. I mean, I think that there definitely could be some bias. Maybe the refs don't even realize it, but it's just this weird underlying, like, this is who I want to win. This is who I see in the final, or who I believe should be in the final, because, people's opinions, it gets the better of their head sometimes, even if they are supposed to be unbiased. So yeah, maybe I agree with you there.
I don't know. I just that Coach K altercation with the referee in the Arkansas game just kind of comes to mind. There was like some weird tension there. It's like also could go the other way, right? Like coaches hate certain referees and vice versa. I mean, there's 3 or 4 referees that I know K-State fans hate in the Big 12 because they tend to favor certain teams. So it's just kind of interesting. Ben's in the comments. He said everybody picking Duke makes me think Carolina's the play. I'm not going to lie. I watched the video this morning. Obviously, Big Cat's trolling by saying that he thinks Duke's going to win it all. But like every single person that they went to, except for Big Ev, said that Duke was going to win it. And that is always something that I like to take into account.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people already saying Kansas and Duke, that's going to be the final. And man, people are forgetting this is March. It is March. The craziest things could happen. Obviously, these last 4 teams aren't crazy by any means. But, I mean, UNC arguably has been the hottest team in the tournament. They've gotten their shit done, and here we are at the Final Four, and now they get to see Duke again. And, I mean, if people are taking this whole Coach K, Duke, really accounting for that, I mean, do you not think UNC knows that everyone is going to be cheering for Duke? Everyone's going to want Coach K to come out on top. I feel like UNC is really going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, and it could go one of 2 ways.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, they were underseeded in the tournament, or they were an underseeded team, and that's just because they didn't have that North Carolina-esque season, right? Basically, since Roy Williams is retired, things have not been as great at North Carolina. I mean, this is still a team in the Final Four. They're still absolutely stacked with talent. And these 2 teams have met before. So I'm throwing both of those games out the window and looking at this one from just a Final Four perspective. And I think that that's the way to really do it here. I think it's going to be a knockout, drag-out defensive battle. And that's why I'm going to be on the under. I hope both teams miss free throws and easy buckets, and it's a miserable game for everybody to watch.
You know what team's not going to miss free throws? Villanova. And I just keep looking back down, and I'm like, man, if this is a close game and Kansas starts fouling, this is a Nova win. God, I'm so scared to take them, though. I'm not even going to lie. But as I said, everyone that I've seen on Twitter, I think I've maybe seen, because I still I came up through the mud of gambling Twitter, so I still follow all of the guys and gals out there. Well, most of them, unless they followed a mean page, and then I blocked you. But there's a ton of people I've seen on Kansas, on Duke. I've seen maybe like 2 or 3 of these Twitter cappers being like, take UNC in the points. And I've only seen like Ange on Villanova, which, she goes there, so that's appropriate. But I'm scared of these dogs. Last time I put out a bunch of dogs, they literally bit me in the ass.
It is a chalky tournament. It has been all year long. All I can do is hope that maybe NBA is a little bit friendlier to me, because my God, Megan, this is probably my worst college basketball season I've ever had. So time to regroup, and I'm not going to go too crazy. I'll have a couple plays. Last year on the national championship, I had the under, dead to rights, and somehow still got it. So we'll see if we can't end this one on a high note, if you will.
I want to say hi to the champ. I will not blow a raspberry on your tummy tum. I only do that to my kitty kids, and you are not one of them. Kind of a weird question. Hey, Jake Koopman. Good to see you. Should be scared for the Final Four. Anything could happen. Of course, that's why I said I am scared, and I'm just trying to wait to see if I can get a better number on Nova, and I will probably pull the trigger on UNC and fade Duke once again, just solidifying my death, because I know if I do, then they're going to win, and they'll win the entire thing.
I think we should have Jack put together a little money shots parlay for us, since we're kind of on the same team here. Figure out what we want, put it in the exclusive tabs of the Barstool Sportsbook, and then you guys can either follow or fade accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. If they can't do it, it'll be glorious. I think Kelly was for that, just in general.
I'm going to be honest with you. Full disclosure, I tweeted that I had to cheer for Duke and KU. Megan knows. That's why I was going to come to New Orleans, so I could hedge some future bets. Listen, I don't want this to be the case. I just think that there's too many points. That doesn't mean I'm going to give out Nova on the money line. But I do think that the overreaction to Moore's injury is already built into the line. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, look, I think that Nova in the first half is definitely going to be a play for me. but it has nothing to do with my supposed bias towards KU. The fact is, Marshall, they get the whistles. Read the comments. Everybody else is talking about how other teams get the whistles. You watch enough games, you see who gets the whistles. Allen Fieldhouse is one of the better home court advantages in the country because you guys get the goddamn whistles.
Sorry, I like Ben's comment. He goes, I feel like with such hateable teams, it's tough to separate handicapping and bias. And it's so true. Like right now, I could not give a shit about all 4 of these teams minus Jay Wright. That's about it. Jay Wright, not Villanova, just Jay Wright.
Just Jay Wright.
Just
Maybe if he had some just for men, Megan, I would find him more attractive.
I'm
not
like
into the gray.
Silver hair. I love a good salt and pepper mix. Just give it to me.
No thanks.
That's just intelligence. It just shows him. And that's why my husband, you see him? He's got lots of salt and pepper going on. It's only going to get better with age. He's like fine wine. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're leaning the dogs. Yes, fade or follow responsibly, and always at the Barstool Sportsbook. We will be back. Not Saturday.
Megan, before you go, plug Hogs for the Cause one more time. You were supposed to tag me on Instagram, and you did not.
I have. Well, yesterday I didn't have any makeup on, and I look absolutely scary without makeup, so I wasn't about to put anything on Instagram. So I will do that again today. I also wrote a blog, so we can bonk me for Jay Wright. That's fine. You can also I put the t-shirt link and the donation link in with the blog. But yes, Hogs for the Cause this weekend. It is in New Orleans. It's the UNO lakefront. Literally like over, I believe, 200 different teams competing. Friday is bacon and wings. Saturday is brisket, pork, and everything else. We're putting a creative spin on it, and we have our own team, which is the Team Porknoy, not to be confused with Dave Portnoy, but Porknoy. Also, I don't know if we thought about the whole like Jewish pork thing when we decided on that name, but it doesn't matter. But that's our team name. Ben's down there setting stuff up. I will say it's absolutely windy and rainy as fuck today. Like my kids don't even have school. Louisiana, if it rains just a little too much, you stay home because you'll be flooded. So Ben's down there working hard. But yes, we need all of the shirts bought, all the donations made, even if it's like a $5 donation. If I've made you money this year, just go donate like $5. The money goes directly to these families that are dealing with their children that are going through pediatric brain cancer. And this has gotten so big that it's not just pediatric brain cancer, but various other diseases that these kids are coming up with unexpectedly, and these parents are going to have to come up with money and food and bed and housing for their other kids and school. And there's just so much to worry about when you're sick that the money shouldn't have to be an issue, which is why places like St. Jude's is so wonderful. Things like this is so wonderful because even $5, as I said, that's a happy meal for a kid that just went through a long ass day of chemo. Find it in your heart to donate. Kelly so graciously donated. We're trying to raise as much money as humanly possible. So please go ahead, find it in your heart. Donate a little bit of money. It'll make you feel good. If anything, if you believe in karma, that'll help your karma at some point in the future. Maybe you'll win a big bet by that $5 put in the little account. So yeah, that's it. That's Saturday. And then obviously the guys are going to Final Four, do some live shows, I think. Not really sure what's going on over there. But I'll be slinging meat if you want to come see me at Hogs for the Cause.
Slinging meat.
But yeah, thank you guys and in advance for your generous donations. And Kelly, try not to get in too much trouble over the weekend. I don't want to be guilty by association. I don't want to be dragged into anything. I don't have to.
I'll do my best not to drag you through the mud and the muck with myself. Since you're going to be at Hogs for the Cause on Saturday, we're not going to do a show Saturday. So just come back and watch this one. I don't think anything's going to change. We'll work on getting a parlay up, and then we'll be back Monday for probably Duke, Kansas.
Don't say that. Goodbye. We'll see you Monday.